Thank you very much for staying with us, everyone. Today, our focus is on politics, security, governance, and other key issues in Benue State. And if time permits us, we delve into national security matters. Just because my guest is Right Honorable David Ogewu, member representing Ogewu Federal Constituency, and is also Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Army. Honorable, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Welcome to Politics Tonight.
Thank you.
We've always been having this conversation virtually. Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you so much.
So from our past conversations, you've always agreed that Benue killings are a clear failure of political leadership. Basically, state governments are not doing anything, and your state is not an exemption. Does it mean there is no end in sight to this hydra-ended monster?
Well, first, I want to appreciate God again for us to be here tonight, and then to throw more light on some of these issues. Like I once stated, I can tell you that there is no problem that when desire and then the will is there, that you cannot have solution to. So I don't believe that the problem of the insecurity, both in my state and anywhere, cannot be solved. They can always be solved, and solutions are there. It's just the will. And I believe that is what is needed for every leader to, begin to cultivate the will. So
for Benue State, clearly you're saying there is no political will to end this insecurity.
Yes, because so far so good, like I once mentioned, the right approach to be made, that every area that are needed to be touched have not been touched yet. Have not been touched yet.
What are the areas?
Number one, for instance, when we had the last incident that lives were lost in that large number, the president visited us, and he gave an advice. He said, look, you stakeholders should come together. There should be a committee, look into these issues, come back to me, let's provide solutions to them. Now, who are the stakeholders? To start with, of course, the political actors are part of these stakeholders. The traditional council are part of these stakeholders. The clergies are part of these stakeholders. The party faithfuls across board are part of these stakeholders. These have not been put into place because that round table is quite very important. It is when you come to a level that is beyond you, you now go up there to meet President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is always willing at all the time and is supporting them with every necessary finance that is needed. Now he will now say, oh, for this reason, will we go this way? And then he will profile some other solutions. I believe this is what should be done. Why do I say this stakeholder is very important? For instance, I'm an Igede man from the Benue South. In Benue, as it stands today, we have three major languages: the Tiv, the Idoma, and the Igedes. I am from the Igedes. Now, in my own locality, as being one tribe, we still have clans. Now, before now, there used to be clannish issues. Immediately I came on board, we have to sit on a round table, call a stakeholders meeting of that federal constituency, including the traditional rulers and the clergies. We sat down, we said, this cannot continue. We are all brothers. We cannot fight among ourselves to have ourselves being killed. And this was laid to rest. Today, you will not hear, for past some time, long time now, you will not hear in Igede land or Ogewu federal constituency that is a clannish clash between the Igedes, because we have about 14 to 15 clans. So when you go to other places, this is how these clans also exist. So when the president is saying, let the stakeholders sit, in fact, the major first people you should be looking at are the members of the National Assemblies. By the grace of God, God have graciously looked and favor us from Benue by giving us the Secretary to the Federation that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu graciously gave to us. It's an additional thing. As the heart, beat, or the engine room of the government. Now, with the National Assembly, with the governor, we cannot sit down with some other stakeholders, with the traditional rulers, and you tell me we cannot fish out these bandits.
So you're saying tonight that if the governor demonstrates some political will and there is unity amongst the stakeholders, political actors, traditional rulers, these steps are enough to disrupt these criminal networks and reduce their influence in the state?
Very, very true. And I'm very sure of that.
All right. But the governor has also consistently talked about politicization of these security matters. And some people believe him. I mean, they believe this fractured relationship with the SGF, this constant back and forth with his predecessor, some ultimate factors anyone should consider. And there are those who believe him. You've also highlighted that factor tonight. But how can this crisis be depoliticized to, focus on saving lives and restoring food security in Benue State?
My dear sister, I want to tell you that, you see, when people speak, maybe try to take something to make excuses on issues, I don't take it.
You think it's an excuse?
No, it's an excuse. For me, when it comes to governance, see, you put every ego down. You put everything that is to your own desire as a person down and consider the masses. In considering the masses, you would not be looking at what A or B is doing. My brother, come, let's sit down. I'm a politician. Before now, I was also in the field of ministry. Now I'm back and I'm doing politics. I won't because of somebody having, that ability. I see that intelligence. I see that capability in that person. And I feel he is not abiding by my ideology as a politician. I should discard that individual. And I know he can help me to solve a problem.
So who is discarding who? Now,
this is what is playing around. It's playing all over these actors, these key actors. And until these things is put to rest, we will not have that. Now, I kept saying, like, Juabi Federal constituency, we always hear ourselves. That's why you will not hear. We are from Benue State.
So why do you think the president's appeal was not enough?
No, his appeal was okay. You can force the horse to the river. You can't force it to drink water.
All right.
So, for me, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces have done his best. I can tell you, sometimes I feel very pained when I see some of these our governors not helping Mr. President. The best the president can do, of a nation can do, is to make sure that you have these security votes, to make sure that there is peace in the land. But some of them give all manner of excuses. Now, have you taken time to even ask them, what do you do with the security vote?
And Benue, for instance, has had over 213 billion naira from 2014 till now.
So you can see. So if we begin to ask them, what are they doing with these security votes? This is a very prime question to ask some of these our leaders. Now, as a House of Rep member, I don't have security votes. But still, I still make sure that my security formation in my federal constituency are working effectively. I go around my way, make my way to make sure that things are okay. Now, if I fold my hands and say, oh, after all, I'm not entitled to this and all that, and then my people are massacred, they will still call on me.
All right. So let's leave the internal factors for now. The lack of political will, the disunity among stakeholders. Has there been enough federal intervention to tackle this crisis? You're deputy chair of the House Committee on Army. Do you think the federal and state governments are aligned in their security approach in Benue?
Now, one of the things as a legislature, we appropriate. The budget, of course, we give no to the budget. Now, the best the president does for every state in terms of security is for us as lawmakers for us to carry out one of our constitutional mandates, which is oversight. When we go on oversight, we go to see things for ourselves, see what is needed, and hear from the people. After all of that, we come back to the House, put our report down, lay it in the House, and then solutions are profiled. As soon as this is done, we take them up to the executive, which is headed by the president. The president we have never one day delay in these actions. Not one day. Just like I cite instance when we started. As 10th Assembly, the first thing he submitted to us after our oversight on security, this insecurity, what is really happening and all of that. And then we said, these people, their welfare need to be improved. They need to boost their morale. They need equipment and all of that. And as soon as the president saw it, he came with a supplementary budget. A supplementary budget that half of it went to the security. And that is the result we've had for some time. You will see that the Kaduna Road, where that you barely can pass. Even in a daytime, you'll be kidnapped. Today, people pass there at night. Some of those operations that take place, that even the personnel, the soldiers' lives, some have paid supreme price. I mean, these people are really working. So what the president have done is to listen to what we table before him, and he's working with us. There is harmony between us, the executive and the parliament. We have a working relationship, understanding that is existing between us. So it's left for this, our governors, to do the needful.
No, your governor, because we're talking about Benue State. But many also believe that the National Assembly delegation from Benue State are also not helping matters. I mean, what I've heard is that there are 3 senators, 11 House of Reps members, including you, not helping matters. How often do you and other federal lawmakers from Benue engage with the governor on this crucial matter?
Now, when they say we are not helping matters, in what way? Now, as a person, I have my personal relationship with the governor.
A good personal relationship.
Yes. And these insecurity issues, I know the length at which we discussed. Okay? Now, that aside.
When you tell him all of the things you're telling me on air?
Sure, of course.
How does he react to them?
Of course, he's always willing. He will tell you, yes, I'm going to act on them.
Does he act on them?
You know, this is why we're here.
Challenges. Okay.
This is why we're here. Now, you see, that of the senators, my other colleagues, let me tell you, no human being or someone with good heart that is being elected by his people will be happy watch his people die. So I don't believe that any of my colleagues will be happy to see what is befalling us as a state. So many times we have decried this, even unanimously, granting an interview that we are not happy with what is happening in Benue State regarding insecurity. You will see also, what else do you want us to do?
But has the governor formally requested support or some sort of collaboration from the National Assembly caucus?
For me, I have not received any formal invitation by him.
So how do you have this conversation with him?
Now, that was before the whole thing got the way it was.
So the relationship is now
fractured.
So there is no relationship at the moment.
At some point, of course, I have to tell myself, hey, David, you are representing a people. Look at how your people will be secure. Because the first person that will be asked, as long as Ogewu federal constituency is concerned, when it comes to that leadership, I will be the #1 person to be asked. So I moved straight. What I did at that point was to make sure I take a motion requesting for forward operation base in my federal constituency. It was granted by the House, and I moved in for that establishment. He's there today. And I can assure you, since that time, we've not had any attack.
Right.
Either from the neighbor side, because we are boundary between Ebonyi, the other way to Enugu, a little bit, you go to Cross River, look at Cameroon. So we are now fine. And we make sure that we also watch, because security is everyone's business.
I mean, that's your own constituency, but what happens to other constituencies?
Yeah, so I think, you know, also I have to say this. Like I said, security is quite expensive. It's not very easy that way. You will need that collaboration effort to be able, especially in some of those volatile areas in Benue State.
I'm talking about collaboration. I want you to establish it so we're clear. What you're saying tonight is that the governor of Benue State, Hans Italia, does not have a good relationship with the 3 senators and 11 House of Reps members.
Of course, some of our colleagues, is not the whole 11, some 2 House of Rep members, sometimes you see them. I just watched on news that one of them that was in PDP, because we are 11 House of Rep member, 10 APC, then 1 PDP. I saw one of the PDP decamping, you know, to APC and was with them recently. And then one of our other colleagues, that is 2. Now, what is expected for me as a person from him is very simple.
Okay.
A formal invitation to the National Assembly caucus. A formal invitation to the Secretary of the Federation. Please, let's sit together and fix our state. Okay. At that point, if that happens, and then the National Assembly caucus or the SGF do not respond, we will now be looking at,
If he does not write to the SGF and he writes to the 3 senators and 11 House of Reps members, would you still support him?
Why not?
All right.
It's our state.
All right, then. You know, the governor is not in terms with the idea of a state of emergency. He says this is not the solution to ending this problem. But how effective is the open grazing prohibition law? How has it been so far?
You see, some of these things, for me, I see them more of, I call it a kind of theoretical work. Sometimes I see some of these excuses as things they just want to push the real issues aside. Now, before now, our forefathers do not witness what we are witnessing. They didn't have this open grazing law or grazing law. But there was peace. There was harmony. I remember those days we travel on the road at night, at any time you travel at will. No problem. I remember those days growing up also, even taking us to farm, you have that freedom to, oh, I'm hungry, you take somebody's yam, roast it and eat while going to your own farm because of the distance. Now, these were the peaceful coexistence that existed between our people. What is really happening now is the question we should be asking ourselves. Now, if we have some of, let's say, for instance, the Fulanis coming to live with us, they know that this is Benue land. This is Benue land. And they know what is not right. I don't think if we are living well and we understand ourselves well, we'll be having issues. I don't think so. So it still boils down to having a round table discussion. My sister, the best form of approaching insecurity, number one, best option is that non-kinetic approach.
Yeah, but I mean, the governor had also had an opinion about this open grazing prohibition law. It says it cannot work. So if you were to revise the law today, what changes would you recommend?
Now, if it will not work, and people are saying to you,
do you know why he says it wouldn't work?
Some enemies are saying, this must be taken off for peace to reign.
What should be taken off?
The open grazing law.
Okay.
And others are saying, no, it must remain.
So it still boils down to unity.
Now, it boils down to unity. How can a moral person take his or her cattle to go and graze on people's crops, destroying the farm? Does that sound as if that person is okay? There must be something wrong, and there must be a reason. So the essence of that open grazing law is nothing more than don't allow these people to destroy our crops. We are known as food basket of the nation. That is because we have a whole lot of production of crops, food of all kinds. But today, what is happening to us? How many of our people can access their farms? So this is the essence of that law. And now if somebody is insisting that this law must, that person should be checked very well. I said that person should be checked because there must be a reason why that individual is saying, that's why we need to come in a round table talk. Tell us why you said this law should not exist. Are you happy with destruction of the crops? This is what is there. So for me, it's not even an excuse at all.
All right then. But let's talk about governance. A lot is happening in Benue State, and Governor Alia has, stressed the importance of collective efforts, which you have, for the past 25 minutes, which you have highlighted on the program tonight. He's talking about the importance of collective efforts in enhancing democracy and securing a prosperous future for the state. Some have been asking, does the governor practice what he preaches?
Well, the result is there to show for itself. If he's practicing what he's preaching, I think the result is there. If that is happening, the National Assembly will not be at loggerhead, the caucus with him. If that is happening, some of this disagreement should not be there. For me, there is a way I look at what is happening around, Benue State as a person. I took a time to study the situation. And I tell myself one simple thing. There are people who does not even want peace to reign in that state because of their selfish benefit.
Who are those people?
They are there.
Who are they?
They are there.
Who are they?
That is why we need to sit round table. By the time he makes some drastic move, like I tell you, extending a formal invitation to the National Assembly caucus, those people will no longer be happy.
Who are these people?
They are there. You always see them around. They will not come to you. In the daytime, they come at night. Don't mind what that person is saying. We need you to remain where you are. You are doing the best, even when you are doing the wrong thing. For me, I've had some of them before.
So let me tell you what people are saying. I mean, some of the things I've heard is that the National Caucus of the Caucus of the Benue Caucus of the National Assembly is, I do apologize for the word, blindly following the SGF without considering the feelings of the governor. I mean, they are also upset with the governor because the SGF is upset with the governor. Is that the case?
It is, it's not true at all. Let me tell you why it's not true.
Earlier you said if he writes a letter to the SGF, if he writes a letter to you and your colleagues, all of you will come down from wherever you are and support him. So, and I asked earlier, if he does not write a letter to the SGF and he writes to you and your other colleagues, would you all support him? Because that's the conversation out there.
I want to honor his invitation. He is our governor. He's our governor. Whether anybody likes it or not, he is the governor of Benue State.
And he says so many people are trying to control him.
Now, there's no any reason for any control. Even myself, I've been you know, kind of hit by some people who call themselves elite, even around our political circle. And I tell them, you are only an elite to my side when you are talking about what will enhance, you know, the life of my people.
So truly there are people trying to control him.
Naturally, you have them in politics who want to say, I want to be in charge of you. Now, but that is not the case. Because as I am, if somebody looked at me and said somebody is manipulating me to do what is wrong, that person have just insulted my person. I have my personal opinion. Whatever you say to me as a leader, what a leader does, you go home, debrief through all that have been told to you. And then after that, you take a decision. Now, he cannot, or no one else should be able to tell him or should tell him that we in the National Assembly are being misled or blindfolded or following somebody blindly. Even the SGF does not wish the state bad. Like I said to him, if you ask the SGF tomorrow, say, what do you think about David? He will tell you. Whenever David comes to you, he tells you the truth. That is what I do. And I have watched him. I
mean, you can only speak for yourself.
Yes.
You can't speak for your other colleagues.
Yeah, for my other colleagues, we have also reasoned together. We spoke, we talked, and I told them, you see some of them going home. I told them, look, don't wait for anybody. Go and see that your place is in peace. And they are going home, all right, unlike before.
The people of Zone C won't stop accusing the governor of marginalization. Do you think this issue is about political representation, resource allocation, or something else entirely?
Well, it's all about appointments.
Appointments.
And the truth of the matter is, you see, take it or leave it. I used to say this truth to my people. Numerically, the thief are more than the Idomas and the Igedes, numerically. And politics is all about number. It's all about number. So when you are going for vote, for instance, you hear my people from Benue South, the Zone C, as is saying, oh, we have not been given governor since the inception of the democracy, what have you, and what that. The question is, how well have we played our game? That is the first question to ask. Secondly, how well have we received support from our thief's brother? Now, Zone A and Zone B. Zone A alone, their voting power is almost more than the entire Zone C. So you will see that the thief people will say, okay, we have to satisfy our people who are more. But for me, governance is not that way. It's inclusion. For instance, I always say this, because when somebody do right, I will say, the governor, when we started, I said, for Igede people, if we can't have the State Assembly Speaker, we can have other appointment, give us the Secretary to the state government. And he said they will work around it. I visited Senator Akume then too. I told him same thing with our people. He said they will work around it. And some other key people, the deputy governor, we went around them. You know, after all of that, the fight was tensed. And then at the long on, he said, going by what we saw on the social media is true. Then there was no representation in Benue South in those appointments.
But there's also this recent appointment of 23 persons who are coordinating APC activities in local government areas and I mean, according to what they have to do, strengthen the party at the grassroots. And some party members see this move as bypassing or undermining existing APC ward and LGA executives. How do you feel about that?
For me, I think any governor, you can decide to form a structure for yourself, however you want to go about it. As a House of Representatives, I have a lot of some of these appointees round my council wards, all my council wards. They are there. So if the governor decides to go on his appointment, if they can help him to arrange, it's fine. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with that. In my local government, I saw some of those people, but I still have the local government chairman. And let me shock you. 2019, when I ran election under ABGA, I had no councillor, no local government chairman, but I won the election. Okay. In 2023, I had no local government chairman, I had no councillor, but I won the entire council ward in the federal constituency. So these things they appoint here and there does not really matter. Right. What matters is the people. Are we working for the people? That is what matters. All
right, then let's talk about national security. I mean, Mr. President has reiterated that the creation of state police, implementation of forest guard, it says these are no longer optionable, but necessary steps. Where are we on that? What's the delay for? Nigerians are waiting.
Yeah, there is no delay. We are only just working to make sure that we put all the things together and then lay them before the House, make the necessary input that need to be made, and then make sure that everyone is carried along. That is the essence of this public hearing that is going step by step, place by, like a few days ago, I was with the traditional rulers of the country, and you see they were agitating for their own space in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. So we assure them that our Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, loved the traditional institution, and our President is also willing to do such. For that reason, the Speaker went ahead and created a statutory committee of traditional institution in the House of Representatives. I am a member, and I told them we are working on their bill. So also is the creation of state. That of the state police, we are also working on it. We are working on it because, you know, we watch some governors who misuse some of this opportunity in time past. Even with the little they have, ordinary, some of these vigilantes and all that, you will see how some of them use them to harass people in the time past. So we are saying, let us look at it very well, guide and write the necessary thing that will make sure that this power is equally distributed so that they will not be misused. Okay. That is what is delaying it in a way in the National Assembly. Because for some of us, we are saying, oh, if these past people have done what they did and we made a mistake, we might be in for it in the future. All right.
So if we were to give Nigerians a realistic expectation, when do you think we might actually see the first functional state police system and forest guard network?
For the forest guard, already this arrangement is in place. In fact, the president said they should do it very fast. And as we speak, I can tell you that some of the coalitions of names, people, you know, for them to go for training is already ongoing. Now, on this, the B aspect of it, the amendment of the Constitution, give and take before December, we should be able to lay something on the floor.
Nigerians are listening. Nigerians are listening to you.
Yes, okay. we are assuring them.
All right.
We are assuring them we are committed. The National Assembly, this 10th National Assembly, we are committed to the well-being of the people. In fact, the House of Reps of 10th Assembly is called the People's House.
You're saying people are rubber stamped?
We are not rubber stamped. We cannot be rubber stamped. We can only have understanding. A child who does not understand the language of his father cannot benefit from his father.
All right. Let's talk about national politics. I mean, the national chairman of your party is from your region. A lot of agitation went into that, and the region finally has that. What difference will that make in the leadership of the ruling party? What does this appointment mean for the North Central region politically now?
Yeah, for me, coming from the North Central, we are very much happy, and we are grateful to Mr. President for that support. I can tell you that in the North Central today, we are ready to give him our maximum support because we have not been sidelined. You will see that in the North Central, we have the Secretary of the Federation, we have the National Chairman of the ruling party, and some other very important positions. So we are good to go, and we are working around the clock to give him that needed support. And you can be rest assured that the vote of North Central is not a vote to joke with. Yes.
And more governors are trooping into your party. Today, Bayelsa State Governor Diodiri became a member of the APC. Isn't that an implosion waiting to happen?
No, we are adding, and we are still going to welcome more as they come.
From where?
Yes, they are still coming from the other parties. And then, it's, you know, APC now is a safe haven, very safe haven. When you come, we will tell you, oh, you need to succeed. APC is a place to succeed for those who want to succeed, who want to work. So you will see these governors coming, and there's nobody who wants to stay in a house that is collapsing. I'm
sure you're happy about the political calculation. Yes, I mean, the current whirlwind favors Mr. President, but is it good for local candidates? Governors alone don't make the party. Yes, they're an added advantage and an added value. The people make up your party. Is that a fair assessment?
Now, let me say this. The current president once said that when you are leading people, and then all of a sudden you look behind, you don't see people behind you anymore. You are no longer a leader. So, as a governor, you are moving. You should have your leaders behind, your people behind you. So if you cannot control your people, then you are not in charge. For me, any governor that knows what he's doing, we have his people behind. Just like we watched today's one, the Bayelsa governor. He said he's coming in with all his the Speaker of the State Assembly, the Deputy Speaker.
So what's your view on the claim that many politicians defect only for personal survival and not for the ideology of the party?
No,
I don't think that would weaken.
I won't believe that. Even as much, even yourself speaking to me, you are also living for survival. Everyone lives for survival.
I'm not a politician.
You know, it must not be a politician. Everyone is living for survival. So politician is not even exceptional. But in the context at which some of them are looking at it is a wrong one. Now, let me put this on the table. If I and you were in party A, I have no reason to hide anything from you that I am gaining in that party A. But if you are in another party, I will not tell you. I will not tell you. So these people are coming to say, oh, that thing that is making you able to work well, I want to belong. Mr. President, this thing you are doing for your people, we are happy. Please, let us also receive. That is a father. And he said, come, I have enough to give to you, my children.
All right, then. Because of our time, let's talk about you. You defeated incumbent rep member, Samson Oku, of the PDP. Quite impressive, I must say. But critics say you've not been vocal enough at the National Assembly about the issues affecting Benue or your constituents.
Well, you see, one, people get to positions based on what people believe about them. My people, today, I'm not going to say my predecessor have not done his best. He has done his best. Like when we met, we shook hands together, I told him, I say, you have done your best, let me continue from where you stopped. That was my word to him. And I focused immediately on the infrastructure. National Assembly is also a place where you need to lobby. I also had to lobby and cry to Mr. President. Our road that has never been constructed for decades. He's doing it for me, Ogewu to Cross River. And then is it other social amenities, name them motorized borehole, solar borehole, electrifications, is it empowerment both in cash and materials, processing garri machines, rice millers, all these things.
So if you were to present, for instance, a breakdown of your constituency projects by ward or local governments, what would that data show when it comes to fairness and inclusivity?
By the grace of God, I think it was so very positive. By the grace and mercies of God. I'm doing my best. I've not been able to touch everyone, but it will get to them. That is one thing I am sure. And you see, one of the major things I look at as a representative is to tell myself that my people have been cut off. And when you are cut off from the state through road infrastructure and some other things, you see that you don't gain anything. There won't be anything like access for you to even talk of company or employment or any presence of federal government. But with what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing for us at the moment, we are good to go. Even the Benue governor, there is a very, very obstacle river that have cut us off from, accessing Benue very easily, just 20 minutes from Igedeland. The governor graciously is constructing that bridge, even the road to that place, because his people also live in Igedeland. This year, New Yam Festival, that I had a long program from 1st of September to 6th of September. The 6th was the grand finale. We had security summit. We had free medical outreach, and so many other things happens. The football tournament, putting you together, engaging them. After all of that, the 6th day, which is the grand finale, where I gave out a lot of empowerment, President was present. He delegated the Secretary of the Federation to represent him in our Igedagba and the empowerment program. And we're grateful to him. It has never happened in the history of Igedela. And for me, it has also makes us, to be known to the world. Some people sometimes ask, Igede from where? From where? But we are not that minority. Even in the Southwest, I have a lot of my Igede people in millions in Southwest. When you go to other parts of the country, you see them. So we are not that little in population. So Mr. President and also has promised that he will make our New Yam Cultural Festival to be a national festival where people will come to celebrate. All right. Because they love it.
But what message do you have for the people of your constituency regarding your stewardship and their expectation? And also, what role do you expect the people to play in shaping your work?
Well, it's to continue in the unity we are having. My message goes even in appreciation to the clergies, to the traditional rulers, to all my stakeholders, the women, especially my youth, who are so supportive, and women. It's for us to continue in that right path, bringing every needed suggestions that will help in the development of the federal constituency to our table, and then also drawing my attention to every needed problem that needs to be, attended to. So this is just my message to them, and to say to them that we should continue hoping that better things
Let's talk about national security. We still have enough time. Deputy Chair, House Committee on Army. What legislative actions is the House Committee on Army taking to improve Nigeria's national security architecture?
Now, currently, we have a bill, even in the National Assembly, that is ongoing to reshape some of these security agencies, to have them, work effectively. I will not disclose some ineffective aspect that is here, because it's a security matter, but we have seen it. We saw them, even in budget line, we saw them in our oversight. So we have decided to start correcting those abnormalities so that they can work in that synergy. The security of this country can only be better when the whole security agencies have that synergy. I'm talking about the SSS, the police, the soldier, the Navy, the Air Force, all of them coming together.
Is there no synergy, or there
is but there has to be a serious cohesion. The truth be told, sometimes some feel more superior to the other. This can bring about disagreement.
So, please be clear. Which of these agencies need to up its game?
All of them. All of them. But one that we must appreciate is the SSS, because so far so good, they are doing their job, supplying the needed information. And I can tell you, Mr. Stosi Ajayi, he's working. Even the Chief of Defense Staff, he's working.
You're also giving me political answers on, I know you're a politician, but then the question I ask is, which of these security agencies needs to up its game?
All of them, that's what I said. But they are doing their best.
You're giving kudos to
They are doing their best. Even the army, do you know how many soldiers die in that war front? They are doing their best. And there are some of the things they are achieving that is not on the media. And I want to say to you people that are also in the media space that you need to help us. You see, I've traveled around the world. I have noticed some certain things. When you travel outside this country, you see some very dirty and rough places in other countries. They don't show them on the social media, but they show us the part that is so beautiful about their country. They present everything about their country so beautiful.
You want us to deceive Nigerians?
We are not deceiving Nigerians, but let us work on ourselves. That problem that we identify, let's get to solve that problem for ourselves. And this is why, Mr. President, I've come with all these reforms. I am very much happy with Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on these reforms. He's going to shape Nigeria. Yes, it will come with hardship, but I can tell you the end of it is going to be joyous.
All right. But is the current level of funding for security agencies adequate to meet this current national challenges?
Left for me, if we have the fund, as a nation, we will do more. We will do more because these security equipment are not cheap. They are highly expensive. In fact, if you watch some of this display that these terrorists are displaying, you will see the kind of sophisticated weapons they are using. And then you begin to ask yourself, where did they get source of their fund from? Because we throw ourselves outside. That is the problem.
I mean, severally I've heard security resource experts have said to me that funding can never be enough when dealing with security matters. But at the same time, there have been several calls for transparency and accountability in budgetary allocation to the defense sector. What's your take on that?
Now, if we begin to bring out the details of what is budgeted in security operation, you are already asking for defeat before the war.
So we must continue to pump money.
Yes,
and
for instance,
if accountability.
Yeah, you are not an enemy of the nation. I'm just giving an instance that you are not in support of the well-being of this country, and then I have appropriated social fund to make sure that, look, we end this insecurity in social place. As somebody who is an enemy to that nation, the person will go ahead to appropriate more than yours, and the person will win you in that war. So most of these things are kept secret because of the modus of operandi, so that you can have that successful operation that is needed. And that's why you will not hear them telling you, oh, we are coming to Lagos to go and face social people. Not like the way I'm coming to this studio today, they will, Honorable David is coming here. It's not done that way in the security sector. All
right then. Right Honorable David Ogewu, member representing Ogewu Federal Constituency, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Army. Thank you so much for speaking with us on podcast.
Thank you for having me, and I'm very much grateful. We look forward to be speaking again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumo Kedebu using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I am Olajumo Kedebu. Good night, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.